in Sacramento on Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We're joined today by Betty Yee. She is the controller of the state of California. And I'd like to speak with you about, property taxes, good old property taxes.
Good old property taxes,
We have to
yes.
pay them twice a year, and I just love when I get my property tax bill. I want to talk, though, about a program that had existed.
Yes.
It was known as the Property Tax Assistance Program.
Postponement.
Postponement, thank
yeah.
you. Property Tax Assistance Postponement Program. Go.
Good. Okay. Well, it is, as you say, was a program that was established in 1978 and ran until 2009.
Okay.
And it was a way to provide struggling homeowners with some tax relief by actually having them defer their current property tax bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back then,
Yeah.
when that program was in play,
Yes.
what were the requirements for California to be able to apply for a postponement?
Similar to what we see today.
Which
with
we'll
the
talk about in a second.
Which we'll talk about in
Yeah.
a second. But for homeowners who are elderly, so at least 62 years old, or who are blind, or who are disabled, and income eligibility, household income of $35,000 or less.
Okay.
And they had to have at least 20% equity in their homes.
Well, there's good news, though. We kind of gave away the ending. This program is coming back.
It is coming back.
What happened? How did we get it to come back?
Well, the legislature had tremendous interest in bringing it back because certainly with housing prices as we see them
Right.
today, and with more of our population becoming older, we just see many more people in need. I wish the program could have existed during the housing crisis
Right,
because that's when
right.
people really needed it the most. So my team worked really hard to get the program reinstated, and so starting in 2017, we will get the program back.
So the program is a little different, just minor changes.
Slightly different,
Still
right.
need to be 62 years old
Yes.
or older, blind or disabled, need $35,500 or less in annual income. Now you need to have 40% equity
Right,
in the home.
correct.
Talk us through that. What's the policy reason behind
Well, this is a program that's a little different from the prior program because
Okay.
it's going to be funded or granted on a first-come, first-served basis.
Ah.
So the legislature really put some constraints in the program because of funding, and so one of the ways to limit the eligibility is by changing that equity threshold.
And let's talk about the first come, first served basis
Yes.
because it is an interesting element that the program funds itself.
Yes.
Explain how that works.
Well, so those who fund the program, the property taxes get postponed.
Right.
And so, and the taxes actually get paid
Right.
when the property is either refinanced or sold, or maybe someone takes a reverse mortgage out of it.
Or upon death.
Or upon death, right. So really, it's, the property taxes do come due at some
Right,
point. So
right.
it does pay for itself, but this is a way to provide real-time, current year relief.
And there's an interest rate
Yes.
of 7% per
7%,
year.
right.
So I presume that helps with the funding of the program.
It does. So the 7% per year, so this is not a free program, obviously. So this
Which is
is
fine.
deferring the payment, but interest does accrue.
So let's talk about the nitty gritty of the program.
Yes.
The applications are available.
They are available on my website.
Okay.
So please, we encourage everyone to go to www.sco.ca.gov.
And the key is we can't look backward for this
Correct,
program.
correct.
If you're in arrears, you need to deal with that separately.
Correct. So
But we can look forward.
Absolutely.
And so how does it work? We fill out an application.
Fill out an application, so anyone who meets the eligibility requirements, go online, fill out the application, and we will look at the eligibility, but it requires that you reapply every year.
And that's key.
That's very key.
You can't just assume because you apply
Correct,
1 year,
correct.
you can, it will automatically stay in force the following
You have
year.
to meet the eligibility requirements in order to participate. So some factors have changed, and so we hope that the factors stay the same, so it remains consistent.
So, we're just getting this going. How do you get the word out? You're here,
Yes,
and we
we are
appreciate
here,
that.
we are here.
But that, this is a significant
Absolutely.
event.
So we are working with a number of organizations that deal with the eligibility population. So those who work with seniors, those that provide services to our disabled among our community. Those are our outreach points. We work with other state sister agencies to get the word out.
Right.
So we are doing programs like this, and thank you
Right.
for your interest in this.
But I
Yeah.
gotta ask you, Controller, and is this a situation, if where there's a big investment market in tax liens, if someone's in arrears, Do you know, I mean, are counties able to sell these off, or?
If they're in arrears and the property
In
taxes
arrears, right.
and become delinquent, eventually the property could be.
But not in this
Not in this
situation.
situation. The actual owner of the property has to continue to live in the home
Right.
to be eligible for the program, and so we want that.
Do you have a sense, I know the program's just getting going,
Yeah.
what the numbers will look like historically? Do we know?
I don't. And a lot has changed, obviously, since the program was
Right.
last in place. We have, I think the need is actually much greater, but the legislature has put, obviously limitations on the program.
Right.
So we will see after this first year what the application rate looks like, and it may be that the legislature will rethink.
Now, given
program.
this is the first year and it's self-funding,
Yes.
where do you get the funds for the first year?
Well, we do get some administrative costs, right, to cover
Okay.
our costs, and we are working very closely with the counties as well, just to help eliminate some of the administrative burdens.
So that first year, you'll have some funding
We
to
have
get
some
the program
funding,
going.
absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the state budget.
Yes.
Because you are the individual that gets to report every month how revenues are coming in.
Yes.
And, it's always funny to watch. The governor makes predictions, the LAO makes predictions, the legislature makes predictions, each party makes predictions. But what we do know is, I guess, just regardless of which prediction you're looking at, revenue is down a bit.
Revenue
that
is down,
fair?
yes, for the first month of the fiscal year,
Which
starting
is
July 1st,
July 1st,
right?
okay.
But revenues are down. But do we see another major recession on the horizon? All forecasts say no. We're
Okay.
seeing some slowing in the economy. We're seeing some tightening in the job market, and when we see, what gives me pause is when we actually see some declines in the personal income tax, because that's been our big revenue surge is through that revenue source. So
And that's down.
and that's down. But what that tells us is that perhaps the labor market is starting to tighten.
Right.
Perhaps those who are working are not working full time. I mean, there's a lot to analyze with respect to what's happening in the labor
capital
market.
gains? Because I know that state is reliant on capital gains.
Capital gains, usually we see those during the key points in time during the
right,
year. So
right.
July would not be
Would
an
not be, right,
indicative
right.
month, right?
Any forecast indication? Because that really can cause
That
tremendous
is.
spikes.
Well, you look at what the stock market's doing. I
Right.
think
It's
we're
doing
actually
well.
it's doing
Right.
very well. So we hope that that's not a sign that capital gains are going to be, what
Right.
is going to exacerbate a decline in our revenues. But I do think more analysis has to be done with respect to where the economy is going. We see that there are certain sectors that are tightening, and also, but really the labor market and the job market.
This fall, there will be an initiative on the ballot to extend part of Prop 30
Yes.
for the wealthiest among us.
Exactly.
But the sales tax element is gone no matter what.
That's exactly right.
Is that of concern?
Actually, I think that's probably a good thing. The part that has been preserved is the
Okay.
progressive part
Right.
of our tax structure.
But meaning
so
in terms of, not so much the policy behind it, but in terms of revenue hits.
I think in terms of revenue, we have seen sales tax declines, and it's really because of the outdated sales tax system that we have,
Okay.
based on goods and rather
Right.
than services.
Right, right.
Yeah. And so we need that structure to be updated. But with respect to the personal income tax, I think taxing the rich is a progressive way to deal with our structure, but it's also more volatile. So
true.
you got to be able to live with the volatility
She
too.
is Betty Yee. She's the controller of the great state of California. My name is Brad Pomerance in Sacramento, local edition.